rated really low for like even kids can play. I think that like Fortnite probably has the most kids playing it out of any shooter game. Period.
I mean, I'm just gonna say
easy,
this,
bro. Easy.
Like if they're putting parental blocks so the guys can't play Duty on the PlayStation on their lunch break, but yet homeboy can look at fucking all the paparazzi celebrity gossip bullshit and literally look at Drake's dick because of him getting, exposing that in an image or whatever. Apparently my IT team at work is not that good.
We're not even allowed to be on the network.
We have to be because of what we do.
Yeah, you're like uploading shit to databases and shit.
Speaking of what I do, maybe we should get into the show and I can tell you guys this crazy story from today.
Let's do it, bro. I'm about to fill up this bag.
All right, let's get lit and enjoy some shed time. In 3, 2, 1, let's rip it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to Shedtime. What is Shedtime, you ask? Well, it's code for the consumption of cannabis, but it's much more than that. Shedtime's a state of mind. It's art, it's music, it's cryptocurrency, technology, it's food, it's vaping. It can be whatever you want it to be, as long as you're not letting the bastards get you down, not being a dick, and making it fun. When you're in the shed, it's whatever your mind allows you to create. So now let's get to the Shedtime Podcast.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As we left to a chorus of coughing, we return to, another beautiful day. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day out there who are listening, whether you're starting your day with us or you're ending your day with us or whatever in between. Maybe you're having a sesh with us. This toke's for you then. So I'm going to go ahead and light this real quick.
I'm going to recover like very slowly.
Yeah.
But
cheers
I'll
with
get
this
there.
nice, densely filled bag of some pink Asahi and purple punch infused flower. Cheers.
That sounds insane. And speaking of insane, we've talked a little bit on the show before about how I work for a company that builds cop cars. So as you can imagine, in my line of business, I have cop cars all over the property that I work. Well, we had a very interesting day today because this afternoon I was back in my parts room going over some parts, making sure that I could submit a parts request to the guys at the warehouse so I can pick up some parts beginning next week. Cool. So while I'm doing that, I can hear the doorbell going off up front in the lobby. Not uncommon. Police officers will come down, they'll drop something off. So that's, very often what I'm hearing when that goes off. But then I hear a voice that I don't recognize, but no, doesn't belong in our building. If I said to you guys that what I could hear through the wall was somebody with a dope voice, would that make sense to you?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like somebody who is clearly on dope and like the way that their voice sounds when they're on like heavy hard drugs like that.
Words kind of run together.
It's like this weird, like nasally, almost whininess to it. Yeah. So I can hear this through the wall. Yeah, exactly. So like I can hear this through the wall and I'm going, all right.
Sound kind of like Steve-O.
Yeah, like old Steve-O back in the day when he was really bad. Good point.
Young Steve-O.
Yeah, young Steve-O. So I could hear this voice and I'm going like this isn't normal. But at first, the way I'm hearing things, I can hear something about like talk to your sister or something like that. And I'm like, oh, well, maybe this is like family, somebody who works here. And as I'm listening a little more, it still doesn't seem right. I can hear my boss saying something about, making a phone call or whatever. So as I'm listening to this, I'm like, this is weird. I hear one of my coworkers, Brooke, go yelling for our shop foreman. And at that point I knew, all right, Brooke has seen whatever's going on out there and something is really weird. So now I come out and I start to catch up with Brooke as she's going to get our foreman, Tyler. And she's telling him like, yo, there's like a crackhead or something like a honest to goodness, legit crackhead, is out in the lobby right now. And so now we're thinking like we need to go make sure that, you know, we're there for Rob if he needs it. Rob's our boss. So the three of us all now start to go out to the lobby to make sure that, you know, our boss is good. And as we're heading there, because what we do is build police cars, one of the things that we have to do is test police sirens. One of the guys did a siren test. So the sirens went off in our shop, and this dude freaked out and started running. So now that we're with our boss, we get the whole picture. This dude wanders into our shop, says he's lost, and he's asked if there's a phone and somebody can call his sister. So my boss calls this guy's sister, is on speakerphone with this woman and this guy. The guy's like freaking out, like, you're not going to call the cops, right? Like, there's no cops out here. There's no cops, right? And Rob's like, no, we build the police cars. Like that's why there's so many cop cars out there. This guy wandered into my shop without even noticing that there's a bunch of police cars out in front of the building. And then is freaking out about cops. Apparently, as he's talking to my boss is when my coworker Brooke walked by a window that looks into the lobby and made eye contact with this dude. And this dude just suddenly dropped and squatted and hid behind like a little barrier. So that was what triggered her to go call for backup.
Yeah.
Dude, the good old drop and squat.
So, mind you, my boss is still on the phone with this guy's sister. And he's like, well, you know, like, do you want to come get him or what? And she's like, no, I don't want anything to do with him. He's like all messed up and he needs help. Like, you can call the cops. So that's what my boss does. And we proceed to spend the next hour or so watching as our local police department searched the area around our shop for this crazy drugged out crackhead dope fiend. I don't know what he was on, as he was running and hiding from them through the woods. Where I work is an industrial park type area. He attempted to go run into one of our neighbors' properties. The problem is it's surrounded by a barbed wire fence. All around us, all these different properties surrounded by a barbed wire fence. This kid had nowhere to go. And I'm lying if I told you that the police found him. But these motherfuckers literally drove through our parking lot right as we watched this kid come out of hiding from some bushes and go run behind a building. We watched him. My coworker tells him, like, yo, he went behind that building and ran that way. They literally pulled up and then hung out in the corner where he came from originally and never caught the guy.
Good old Massachusetts PD right there, bro.
That shit was wild.
Dude. I swear there's so many stories, you know, like you've probably had something like that throughout your life, like just like run-ins with people that are on some drugs or whatever. And dude, there's some of the times like between drugs and like just like people that are really drunk like all the time and like live on the streets or whatever. There's some like wild fucking stories probably throughout my life.
Oh, for sure, dude. I have some stories just myself, bro. Not of myself, but like
from like in your life that you've
experienced. Yeah,
like, dude. There was one time, bro, where me and the homie ditched school, bro, and we're fucking walking down to the little liquor store on the fucking corner to go grab like, I don't know, like an Arizona and a bag of chips or something, because that's probably about all the money we had. And as we're fucking going, dude, there's this homeless guy. And he's walking, and he was either fucked up on like he was either really really fucking drunk or he was on something, dude. Because he could not walk. If you told him to walk a straight line, bro, that motherfucker would come out like a zigzag, dude. Because he was just like
He'd probably
all
fall
over the place, bro.
He'd probably fall, to be honest.
Well, that's what ended up happening, bro, because he's walking across the fucking street to the liquor store where me and my buddy were going. So, like, he's walking across the street this way. We're walking this way to the corner, you know what I mean? And as he's going to, like get on the curb, he doesn't even fucking step up, kicks the fucking curb, and just, like, fucking boom, just fucking smacks the face down, right? And then when he fucking turns around, dude, to get up, his nuts are just hanging out of his fucking pants, bro.
Oh my goodness, dude. Like, feel bad for that guy, but
dude, just letting it all hang out, bro.
I think
and the thing was, it was only his nuts too, bro. That was the crazy part. Like, only that popped, dude. But it was fucking hilarious, dude. We kept making the joke, like, damn, that guy sat in a bunch of gum. That was what you'd say when you're a fucking kid. But, dude, he gave us the full brain, dude.
Oh, my God. Yo, I straight up think we had that same guy as a customer at the dispensary. Because there was a story, I missed it. But dude, all of my coworkers ran up on me the next day and was like, yo, after you left during the night shift, this dude came in mad jammed up. And his fucking zipper was just open and his junk was just flapping around as he walked in the store. That's crazy. That's happened on both coasts.
I'm trying to think of any other crazy stories. Because, dude, there was a bunch that used to just be around, like, where I went to school, dude. Because I went to school in, like, the downtown area, like the older part of town. You know, it's a little bit more beat up, a little bit more, you know, it's seen some shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's where a lot of the ruckus happens. And also where you see a lot of the underprivileged, unfortunately. You know what I mean? People without homes or just people out on strung out or whatever. But, dude, they'd all just be like, there's this like one little street right next to the fucking, or it was like an alleyway sort of. And they just all used to hang out right there. So you'd be fucking doing like your cross country or whatever the fuck. They called it perimeter. That's what it was for PE, physical education. You have to do what they called a perimeter, which was where you'd walk the entire campus, the entire outside edge of the campus.
Oh, yeah. It's one of those, like, it's like a mile or whatever long.
Or more. I'm not sure. But, and you had to do it, like, a few times or, like, for the whole period or some weird shit. I don't remember exactly. But when you'd be walking that, dude, they just fucking come out. They just come out the woodworks, bro. And then you just be seeing them. And then, of course, you know, you'd see the group of kids go, like, break off and start fucking with them until the teacher comes by and either yells at him, or you would also have the kids that once perimeter started, they just walk off campus and just leave. You know what I mean? And then not even come back. But they'd also get in trouble for it because if you didn't pass by the coach or the PE teacher at least, you know, so many times within like the period, they'd know that you're gone, obviously. So,
yeah, the kids that ditched like that, though, they didn't give a shit.
Oh, dude, you know?
I
used to just like, depending on what, like, it's usually after like third period, bro. I'm like, all right, I'm out. And then just literally walk out of the front of the school. Just not like it was nothing, dude. Just across the street, across the desert, a little desert patch to get to Del Taco if I want to go Del Taco. Or I just fucking continue down the street and just fucking hit the little liquor store right there. Or also, if you hit the little Del Taco cut, that's what we call it. Yeah, you want to take the Del Taco cut? That's where you'd cut through the fucking desert and then you'd have to like hop a little fence. Or eventually someone ended up fucking just breaking the fence and you could just like fucking crawl through it. And you just go to Del Taco or go across the street to the other Mexican spot, Las Alazones. Dude, that spot, bro, you get some carne asada fries, get yourself a California burrito, maybe a horchata. Yeah,
Sounds
dude.
like a winning afternoon.
Bro. That was that when you went there, dude. That's when you knew like you either saved up like whatever your parents would give you like the past couple days to go get one of them burritos or like a carne asada fry because they were like $7-8, bro. But it's worth it because it's a fucking fat ass burrito and it's literally an entire styrofoam takeaway container filled with fries, topped with sour cream, guacamole, cheese, and then of course you get like
I'm into it.
guy or whatever else you want on there, and then just fucking all the carne asada, dude. Oh, so good.
I think your mic's starting to cut out on us.
Oh, did I bump it?
Yeah,
Yeah, you
it's coming back.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, you're back.
I was just saying, dude, they're so good though. I get mine without the sour cream. Not a sour cream fan, but dude, so fire, dude. I like, and at that point, I could never finish a whole order. You know what I mean? So usually, like me and the buddy would like, hey, you want to go get in and get some carne asada fries? And you like go halvesies. Just get 2 forks and just sit there and just fucking tear it up. And then we had this one teacher that used to go and get it for us too, which was sick.
Oh, fire!
Every now and then we just throw her some money. There was our photo teacher. She was dope as fuck, dude. Either that or she would like whoever had like a license at the time, and like because some of us didn't. Obviously, I didn't get my license till after high school because I'm a loser. But that's besides the point. But she'd literally give someone money to go like during class. And they just fucking go fucking grab whatever people want and come back.
Like, bring me back a burrito. Let's go.
No, all she asked them for return was for you to just like get whatever for her. You know what I mean? Just like, all right, yeah, I'll cover you, Miss Gordon. Shout out to Miss Gordon.
Hell yeah, dude. That's dope. So like that shit was kind of common when I was in high school, but that's because I was in those bad kid schools. So like almost every day it was pretty common that like a teacher would round up a bunch of kids and go on like a coffee run. And what it really was there was a couple teachers who smoked cigarettes, and they would round up all the kids who smoked cigarettes, and they'd be like, all right, we're going to go on a coffee run for everybody. And we would literally take orders for all the kids, all the teachers, everybody. And then everybody who smoked cigarettes would have an opportunity to get a couple butts in, and then come back to class.
Fucking 4 teenagers and the fucking teacher in a car just chiefing cigarettes, bro.
Yep. Literally. I like you could picture it.
I see it in my head right now, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I see it in my head.
It's a fucking
right
Jeep Cherokee.
Oh, dude. Tell me why I was picturing like a Suburban or something though.
Yep.
So like you could even get a couple more kids in there if you really wanted to. But dude, that would be fucking brutal.
Yeah, it was
a Jeep. The Cherokee, you can only hit 5. You can still only fit 5, right? Because it didn't have the back row.
Yeah, exactly. Do the 3 in the back, which wasn't very common anyway. It would usually be 2 in the back, 1 in the front, plus the teacher.
Yeah.
But that teacher was his name was Rob, because in that
shout out to Rob.
Yeah, we didn't.
If you got a guy that takes you to fucking go get cigarettes, yeah, you call him Rob, bro.
Rob,
it's not
Rob
Mr.
was
Nothing.
a
boys at that point.
Rob was like an early 30s fucking surfer dude.
Oh, Rob,
which was really funny because he's a surfer dude from New Jersey living in Massachusetts. And he's like, no, bro, like, you'd be surprised if you get a dry suit and you go out in the wintertime, man, there's some gnarly breaks up here. And I'm like, bro, you're talking about January in the ocean. You're out of your mind.
It is so crazy, though, that the water is warmer on your coast.
It's the water?
Yeah. Isn't it supposed to be warmer on the East Coast compared to it is on the West Coast?
Nah, dude. I'd be shocked if it was the other way around.
My water,
like if it was East was warmer.
Our ocean water around here gets to maybe the mid-70s in August.
Yeah, like, dude, down here. So, like, out here, bro.
Right here is fucking cold, bro.
Yeah, but I think this is cold to, like, people that are normally used to hot weather. Like, I think, I don't know, because, dude, Here,
if I go
no
to
joke,
California and jump in the water out there, that's going to feel like bath water to me.
dude, it takes until August to get the beach near my parents' cottage, okay, to 65 degrees. Takes till August to get to 65.
Yeah.
So think about it. You go there for vacation. You're like, oh, yo, it's the fucking 4th of July. Like, we're here. Even though we're not in America, but we're here. We're on vacation. And you
dive
try to
into
go
like
into the
56
water.
degrees.
No, it's probably like 60. It's probably 60, 61 degrees, something like that. You might have like a week where it's like actually really quite hot. And so the temperature hits 66. You're like, whoa. But yeah, no, it's like pretty cold. But I think that it's also because
Atlantic Ocean waters are warmer near the equator and colder near the poles. Hold on. What else we got here?
Well, yeah.
I'm trying to
Of
see.
course, that
The Pacific coast is colder than the Atlantic coast. The average water temperature of San Diego line is 66
that I can
Fahrenheit,
believe.
and average temperature in South Carolina can be 82. See, I thought I knew something about this.
Wait.
I wasn't
So
completely
is
talking shit.
that implying that San Diego is across from South Carolina?
It might be.
Like if we go on the same latitudinal line, I think it's latitude.
Yeah. At 32.7 north.
Holy shit! Okay, that's wild.
Yeah, dude, I thought I was right.
Because I mean, thinking about it from my perspective and Chris's perspective, we're northern Atlantic.
Yeah, I guess I was thinking more so where I'm.
So yeah. But
Okay.
on that latitudinal,
I wonder if it
line,
makes a difference.
latitudinal line.
I cannot say that word.
Because what that other thing say that I said earlier, it says that the Atlantic Ocean is warmer near the equator. And colder.
Well, yeah, because that makes sense. Like all water near the equator is warmer than near the poles.
I'm trying to see.
That makes sense.
What does this say though?
But I never thought about that because, like,
I guess the Pacific varies widely depending on location and depth. However, in general, the Atlantic Ocean's waters are warmer near the equator and colder near the poles. So I guess, like, when it comes to like,
so yeah, like if we draw that line from like say Florida to like maybe Tijuana,
yeah,
that water is warmer in Florida. That obviously is fact.
Well, that could be even because maybe like it's going to be really hard because like the way that this is all looking, but like let's just pretend that this is the East Coast and like the land goes this way, right? So there's like all these things that come down the East Coast and they'll be coming from like northern sections and they kind of like rotate down, and that's why like where I live now, like the water's really quite
this
cool.
might make more sense.
And then on the southern side, it kind of comes up.
You want to hear this theory right here?
So like
it's
the
not
currents.
necessarily a theory, but it's kind of a fact. It says the West Coast water temperatures are much lower than those along the East Coast. That is true because of ocean water's rotation in clockwise fashion. Let's see what this has. More this has to say.
Yeah,
this means that Atlantic waters travel to the U.S. East Coast from the south and are relatively warm compared to. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Okay. Yep.
You see what's going? I see what's going on.
So it's dragging the water from the equator up versus where you're coming on your side. It's dragging it from like Canada down.
Yeah. Boom. Science for stoners.
We just learned some shit. Yo,
I'm sure there's so many people out there that are just like, these guys are fucking idiots right now. Are they really talking about this? But hey,
Yes.
you know what? Sometimes you get stoned and you don't remember where you heard things, but you know they're true. And you just blob them out like they are. And then you get called out for it. And then fact check yourself and come out victorious.
I love
That honestly kind of gave me a little bit of pleasure. No, just pleasure in the fact that I actually knew what I was talking about for once and wasn't just like blabbing off some shit.
Yo, and then was able to immediately find the facts.
Yeah, dude. Well, I had to make sure I was right before I got called out for being an idiot. Because I felt like, once you guys started talking, like you guys kind of made me start feeling like I was an idiot. And then I was like, you know what? No, I'm not an idiot.
No, but yeah, like once you go
that was my internal monologue that whole time, just for anybody that was wondering.
Once you go into that though, like that, it does make sense. Like if we compare it latitudinally, that all makes sense.
That was a mouthful. Latitudinal, like
latitudinal.
I ain't even gonna try it.
Yeah, I'm just stoned enough to get it right some of the time.
Dude, words are hard for me when I am stoned, which is kind of stupid that I get as high as I do when we do this, which involves talking. But hey, that's neither here nor there.
At least I'm not as fried these days doing the show when we do it now as I was during our Sunday recordings.
Dude, the Sundays were dope, though. I will admit, like it was kind of weird this past Sunday because it was the first Sunday we didn't do anything, and I kind of like woke up my normal time, looked in Discord, and no one was there.
Yo, like I hung out with Will and Ryan for a little bit, some of our usual friends that are in Discord. But then yeah, like they decided to go meet up and go do something. And I was like, well, I'm just not gonna sit here alone for an hour or whatever. So I was like, I'm gonna hop out. And honestly, I was probably halfway into a good trip from that mushroom chocolate again.
Oh,
dude,
dude's hell.
I enjoy lately like that a gram of that chocolate lately. I was really able to just kind of like chill out. Honestly, I think I put the Apex Racing on. And it was like an hour and a half long race or something that they were doing. And I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to sit here, relax, smoke a little weed, vape, and watch this race and just let this mushroom bar do its thing to me. And like, I sat here, and one of the things that, maybe more people experience this or not, I don't know. But one of the things that immediately tells me that I'm starting to have the mushrooms take effect is I start yawning a lot. Like uncontrollable yawning. I could be wide the fuck awake before I eat these mushrooms. And then all of a sudden I'm like, every time I do, it's like, oh, I start to feel it a little. And so like that starts happening. I realize, all right, we're just going to ease back. And man, actively choosing to do nothing and just relax and let that just do its thing to me was really friggin' nice. It was just a full body trip where like I was able to just veg out in this chair and like it almost seems like nodding in and out of a dream state, but yet you're present the whole time.
Dude, I'm so stoned I forgot my fucking volcano is even going right now, dudes.
Oh no.
Fuck. Still getting a milky bag though. That's the good thing about this infused flour, dude. This shit goes for a while. I think I got a leaky bag though.
No.
Might just have to bust out the party bag.
Party bag. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
We'll see.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's done.
Or just might need to make a new party bag.
A party Hardy bag.
You guys hear that whistle, everybody? Because that's the sound of a roaring volcano. Not really. That's just the sound of my rig here. That's also the sound of it. Did you guys?
At first, I was like, "Yo, James, that's like way louder than I've ever heard it before." Then I realized that I did the soundboard.
Yeah. You weren't supposed to say anything, bro, because I was totally gonna go for like a bit and say like, "Dude, you like how I threw my voice as I was ripping my bong?" Because I said something as it was going. I'm a ventriloquist.
I said that to somebody the other day. I was like, "Yo, you didn't know I'm a ventriloquist? Catch me on tour. I'll be performing in Vegas next month." Hey! Speaking of Vegas performances, I don't know anything about what's going on out there except that U2 plays the Sphere. And I think to myself, of all the bands that they picked to be the resident band inside that big-ass Sphere, it was U2?
Here's the thing, Sean. You got to think about it. This is just a theory. Just one that just popped in my head right now, so it's not fully fleshed out. Just putting that out there. So you gotta think about it, bro. What kind of people invested money into building this giant sphere? Probably some people that have got quite a bit of money, have probably been around for a while, and are probably into some pretty like whatever, kind of stuff. Or just maybe just like into some, I guess you'd call classic type music, or are just a fan of Bono, or he also may have had some sort of part in I don't know. Like I said, this isn't fully fleshed out. This is just something that popped in my head, and I just figured I would roll with it and see where it went. And I think I lost it. So, anybody else have a theory? No? Okay. So, okay. What about this?
It's just,
dude, these
my
bags,
thing,
bro, have got me on a different level tonight, boys.
Yes, I like this mix. This is a good mix for you.
Dude, I like it, dude. It's not only is it tasty, but it's a nice, like, not like too crazy uppity. Like I'm still like my normal kind of indica high, but like I'm real like chatty and playful, I guess. That makes sense.
You got that mental energy.
I'm just ready to have a good time, bro, to hang out with my boys and just chat it up. And I'm taking away from our normal conversation here. So let's get back to that.
But like my whole thing is that like when I think about the Vegas experience, I'm like, U2 doesn't feel Vegas. Honestly, like Kiss is more Vegas of a like with that level of.
Well, here's the thing, Vegas.
But they've already had a
this is the thing, Vegas
there though. I'm pretty sure Kiss has.
This is the thing about Vegas.
I'm pretty sure they have too, but
New Vegas is a totally different thing compared to like what I feel like we were, growing up knowing Vegas for. Because like I've gone recently, and it's kind of gotten a different kind of vibe than it did when I went when I was like younger. Even though I was a kid, like just like the types of things they're offering as far as like shows and who's doing residencies and those types of things, like there actually are bigger names doing that now. It's kind of weird. Like Usher just recently did a residency in Vegas.
Like Celine Dion had one
those sorts of things.
How long?
So just for a I don't. Are they? Is U2 doing a residency there, or did they just do the one opening show?
No, they are continual residency right now.
Okay, I wasn't sure because I heard about them playing it the first time, but I haven't heard anything about it since.
There was just a recent one there, and I guess because I obviously read a lot of weird news and stuff, and people got a little upset with Bono over some of his commentary that he made because if you're going to a U2 concert, you expect that Bono's going to inject a little bit of his politics and stuff into what he's going to talk about in between songs. That's just that's part of what Bono does. Love it or hate it, that if you like U2 and you want to see it, that's what you're going to get a part of it. And so naturally, some people are for it, some people are against it, and you see both sides of it all over the internet. Notwithstanding, who cares about that? That's what got me thinking, like, wait a minute, U2 is the residency there. Like, I would have thought someone like Usher, as a great example, would have been a better fit for something as unique and eye-catching, and there's another word I really want to use and I can't find it in my head right now, but like for something of that level of prestige as it
Here's the thing, though,
basically
too.
is meant to have, right?
What they might be trying to do with this, and this is like kind of going back to my original theory, and I kind of thought about it a little bit more, is like you've got like probably some, maybe a little bit, of an older crowd as far as like the people that are involved in like running, the sphere and like the business side and that sort of thing. So like they may be kind of into like a U2 or, Rolling Stone or like that kind of type. I don't know. I'm not a fan.
Rolling Stones would have been a better fit, though.
No, I get you. I get where you're coming from. But here's the thing, dude. What they could just be doing is just trying to put together. I don't know.
Honestly, I think I just figured it out. I think you just helped me figure it out.
Do you know where I'm trying to go with this?
Yeah, dude, I do, and I think what it is
like I'm trying to put it in words, and my brain's not working right now.
The influence and interests of their financial backers is what drives who the selection is. I think my question lies in the caliber of the performing artist, and I think the answer to that is cost.
Well, yeah, dude. They're probably trying to get the biggest name they can for
the lowest amount of money
to do this for the first run.
Exactly.
To see if this is going to be as big as they think it's going to be, because they have to be able to return their investment for their investors on this fucking
that's
whatever
the thing, right?
Fucking
like,
$1 billion.
Any business
thing is
of this size is very likely not going to turn technical profit for several years, right? Like, because you have to pay back investors and do all these things and pay the money to.
And I'm sure they've already done projections on what they're going to need to make and able to, you know what I mean? So with that, they're probably, you know what I'm saying? They got people way smarter than us thinking about numbers and things like that, even though this may not make sense to us, because I agree with you, I wouldn't want to go see U2 in the Sphere because I'm just not a U2 fan. But there's a lot of other people that I would definitely be into.
Dude, right?
But here's the thing, though, too, man. Isn't U2, like, aren't their videos pretty, like, visual type things that really tie into, like, their music? Because that's what I've understand from like,
definitely
especially like the Joshua Tree album. I think like that was one. I heard somebody was talking about this. We were talking about Joshua Trees. That's what it was.
Yeah,
I heard somebody talking about it. Oh wait, it was us.
Yeah, we literally had to look it up because we needed to know why did they name the album Joshua Tree.
And think about that, and like how
again,
and on how much they built that off imagery and shit like that, and like where they were at, and in the space. So they're trying to create a space with their songs. So why not have a sphere where they can project the space they're trying to create?
I think in that same vein, right?
Because there's a lot of other artists that also fit that bill 1,000%, and I agree with you.
That is one of the really cool things happening right now is people blending that degree of visual art to a live show.
Imagine like a Travis Scott or something got in there, dude.
Oh God!
Have you seen how crazy his shows are, dude? Visually and like the shit that he's doing, it's nutty.
I love, because here we go. I'm going to pick on the conspiracy theorists again.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I love that with Travis Scott, he has like, I'm not a fan of the music. It's not my taste. I don't get it. I don't get the appeal to his sound. That's just me being old now, I guess.
We're curmudgeons now, Sean.
But I'll say this. When I watch the performance footage, I go and I see somebody who literally understands how to command a crowd. He's to me, I see him as less of like a rap artist or hip hop artist and way more of a stage performer. The way he can get that crowd hype is insane. I mean, we all know what happened at the Astro World Festival. You know what I mean? Like, he can whip up a fucking crowd. And we don't see bands do that to that level too often. And I got to imagine if you're into that music and you see a band or an artist who has the power to really whip the crowd up like that, that's an experience you never forget. I mean, I remember at Ozfest when I was young, and we went out to one of the secondary stages out there, and Nonpoint was performing. And this was right when Nonpoint first came out. Their big hit song was What a Day, and that song slaps. So if you guys like some heavy new metal, rap metal style music, go check out Nonpoint's What a Day if you're not familiar. But he was like, listen, I want this whole pit to, light up when we start this song. When this shit drops, I want you to go nuts. And I looked at the girlfriend I was with at the time, and I was like, listen, like, I guarantee you from what he's saying, we're about to get lost. So I'll try to find you somewhere over here after the song is done. And sure enough, it starts out, like most of those new metal songs do. It's kind of calm. And then as soon as the distortion kicked in, this whole crowd turned into a sea of just moving bodies. And it was one of the most incredible times in a pit I've had in my entire life. So you don't get to experience those too often, but when you do, you never forget them.
Oh, dude, there's definitely some nights that, like, I can remember most of them. And they would be like those moments, but it might be like, I couldn't tell you the first song they played, but sure as shit could tell you the last. Or like, I could be just absolutely annihilated, like in the pit, or I could still be just like not feeling it. And I'm like a little bit further out, still trying to like get my drink on, you know what I mean?
I remember the first time I witnessed a toxic narcotic pile up at a show. And that's another one of those, like, I wasn't in it, but like, I was standing back at the back of the room, and I just watched like 200 people who initially filled a space that was, half this room, cram into like an eighth of that space and just start like piling on top of each other at the front of the stage. And I was like, what is this? These people are nuts.
Like, what is this madness?
Oh my God. I was like, you people are animals. I like you.
Oh man,
I was never a pit guy, dude. But then
Pits
again,
were,
I
like,
never went to
fun.
many shows.
But like, I remember when I was like 15, it was like the first time that I was like in a pit at like a pretty rowdy show, and I saw this fucking kid, like two people beside me, like I was like here, and then it'd be like a shoulder and like a person, and then the next person over. Like somebody was up and was like flailing around, and they fucking spun, and like I think that they tried to like catch themselves, and they ended up swinging their foot, and homie had fucking steel toes, and the kid just took it like right above his eye, like right here, and just got fucking iced out right there. And then it was like probably like 6 or 7 of us just like holding people back so somebody could drag this dude that was completely like lifeless out. And I was like, yo, this is fucking crazy.
See?
It's like I was like fucking grade 9 or some shit, and I'm fucking losing.
If I were there, that would have been me. Because I'm that unlucky, bro. That's why. No, thank you, dude.
Oh, dude, I got definitely like shoes, whatever to the face, all sorts of different things, like from like people crowd surfing, like just like bruised up feet and like calves from like real fucking like pits that are just like you're fucking almost like. Yeah, I don't even know. It's like a wave that
you're a wacky waving inflatable arm flailing guy.
Yeah, your like feet are like kind of pedaling really quick, but always. But there's like people almost pressed against you. You'll have like people stepping all over you and shit.
That's the thing, right? Like every show, that pit area is different. because like I've been to ska shows. Let me tell you about ska pits, dude. If you want to just have some fun and smile in a mosh pit, ska pits are the way to go.
Yeah, because they're just running in circles.
Yeah, just
Dude,
running
people
around
are
in
just like they're
circles, kicking and
skanking.
dancing
Yeah.
and shit.
Oh, dude,
Great.
it's skanking. I remember when I first heard that like that was the word for people that were like dancing to like ska shows and shit. It was skanking. I was like, that's the most ridiculous fucking name, bro.
That makes
Or,
sense.
or like the pogo punk crowd, dude. It's just a little bit angrier skanking. That's all that was.
Dude,
Just
are the
jumping
fucking-
around and doing the same thing in a circle pit.
What's
like-
the fucking arm thing? Where they're like doing all the crazy fucking arm movements and stuff. You know, I know you guys know what I'm talking about.
Oh
Oh yeah, that's with like lasers and shit, right?
No, not well, maybe I guess, but not necessarily. But it's like
yeah, you,
to,
like, you just don't want to go to like
electronic kind of
hardcore
music.
shows where like people are literally getting in the pit, like
Yeah,
throwing
I'm not
punches
looking
and
to
slamming.
get a fucking fist or an elbow or a steel toe boot possibly to the head. I'm good.
Oh, dude, there'd be kids that would go to those shows and like that's the only reason why they're there.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not there.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Yep.
Because
Well, you don't have
get
to
it.
go into the pit, but
I have a
understand
very
what you're saying.
punchable face, Chris.
Don't say that.
Not that no, that's just.
I'm not going to say you look mean, but I wouldn't say you look punchable.
Dude, honestly, I do kind of sometimes have a. Sorry, my fucking Apple Watch is going off like crazy. I already seen that, stupid. Anyways, speaking of Apple Watch, peep the Apple Watch, guys. It's got the podcast logo on there, boy.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, dudes,
Coming up in
rapping all the
world.
time.
Huh. So by the time this episode airs, we should have our merch store back open, ladies and gentlemen. So,
Sick.
That should be good to go. We'll have all of that worked out. So I'm excited to announce that we should be
Go
open
grab
by
a-
the time this episode
Grab a hat.
drops.
Oh, dude, Sean, do they have? Can we make beanies, bro?
I already did it. Already on it.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yes, sir.
I need
Multiple
one.
colors, design that's on the hat.
Sick.
Yep, but multiple different color hats. So I think we have. I think we've got black, a red, and a gray. I think those are the best ones with that logo.
No green,
There's-
dude.
There's a dope new design I did for the Shedheads.
I was about to say a Shedhead one would be sick, bro. A Shedhead beanie. I feel like I need a Shedhead hat too. Sorry,
So
I'm
the
thinking
Shed-
about future things.
Yeah, the Shedhead hat is definitely, I think, something
It
I
just
wanna
makes
have
sense.
as
I feel like you need a
year-round hat.
Shedhead hat because it goes on your head because you're a shed head. You know.
Yep. So here's
Dude.
what I want for the
Oh,
Shedheads
I just
out there.
thought of a brilliant design, Sean. Do you want to hear it now or do you want me to save it for later?
Hit him with it.
Dude, what about just a shed? And that's all it is. And then if you know, you know. Because you know what I mean? Because it's a shed on your head, so you're a shed head. You know what I'm saying? It's like an innuendo.
I like this. This
Is that
is
what
an
that
idea.
word means?
I don't know if that's actually what an innuendo is,
I don't.
I don't know, dude. It just came out. So I just...
but I know this. The first design.
now I need to Google it so I don't sound like an idiot again.
The first design is the actual Shedhead logo that I've been putting on a couple of different things. So yeah, Shedhead hats will totally be coming. But I want to know what you guys want. So go ahead and you can send us an email at shedtimestudios@gmail.com and tell us what kind of merch items you want to see. And we can get to work on making those happen for you. So yeah, feel free to send us an email.
Dude, I was right, bro. God damn it. I said
check it out.
It's let's see here. Typically, wait, hold on. Obligatory remark or hint. She's always making sly innuendos.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Shed.
kind of
Head. That's a strong hint.
yeah. It's like, yeah,
There you go. The more you know.
an elusive
You
or
know-
why can't I fucking
obligatory? I'm guessing is the word you're trying to get. That also makes me think like you could also do the shed and a clock.
Or exactly.
I love
Shed
it.
time.
What's the clock for?
Time.
Oh. Actually, let me work on that.
See, now that's what I need to do. I need to see if our merch dealer can do clocks.
Just a shed in it on it.
Well, because then we could put the shed logo, or we could make all the numbers sheds.
Yo, could you like literally flip the clock so the very top of the clock is 4?
I mean, yeah, you could renumber it any way you wanted. Sure.
I don't know. Maybe that's like not the right way, but like making it some unique
420.
way, like look. Yeah, so it's like 420 is like the premier shit or something. I don't know.
We could just take our faces and fucking put them as the number.
That or either
I
that
don't
or
know
that or put us on each one of the hands. One of us can be the seconds, the minutes, and then the hour. You know what I mean?
It's 20. It's 20 past Franz Janklin. It's time to smoke.
One of us is just spinning around like this every second, dude, just like crazy.
Oh my god! I don't think I want to put my face on a clock.
No,
I really don't.
I don't really want to put my face on anything, dude.
Yeah, actually, I would.
I'll put my face on a camera.
Well, there's
That's
a couple
about it.
things, but that's a different subject.
Hey,
Wait.
there is that cartoon the homie
Pillow.
Jacoby made.
I was talking about a pillow. What were you guys thinking? I'll put my face on.
Yeah, I was talking about a pillow too. It's all right.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
I was talking about titties.
Oh.
Aren't those pillows?
Okay. You could use them that way, I suppose.
Anyway,
Absolutely.
that's off topic. Let's get back to the conversation. So where were we at? Innuendos? Innuendo.
Yeah, innuendo, and we are not going to actually put our faces on the clock if we can make one.
Yeah, that's not a thing.
Definitely not going to happen. A shed, maybe. Our faces, no. Although, like I said, we got those cartoons the homie Jacoby made of us as
Yeah, I
little
totally
nugs.
forget about those.
So that could be something
thing.
cool to use.
That could be a thing.
And we even have the homie Perma sponsor here, friend of the podcast, Ashton Palmer, as one as well. In that,
Oh yeah,
Is that-
exclusives?
that goes all the way back. A matter of
Number
fact,
one.
if you join our Discord exclusive to the patrons, that happens to be the Patreon logo or our Discord logo for the Patreon members. So you can see it that way. And if you are a member, you know what we're talking about. Yeah.
Oh, dude, you guys want to know something kind of crazy?
Yes.
I haven't vaped mango all week.
How you hanging?
I'm all right because I even have some right now because I finally got some, but I just haven't re-wicked.
Good for you, bro. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I feel like I'm taking steps, bro.
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
Moving into new horizons.
Yeah, you don't have to leave that street.
No.
just gotta
I'm coming back. I'm coming back,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
I'm just going around the block real quick. Or
Yeah.
just down the street and back. You know what I mean? Because, dude, honestly, I switched up to the guava jelly, obviously, guava lemonade. And, dude, out of this Reload 26 RTA, I haven't vaped an RTA in a while either. And I've been really enjoying that, too. And I feel like that's partially why I haven't switched, just because this is vaping as good as it is right now. So it's just like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it sort of thing. You know what I mean? Kind of like been my motto with mango and about everything else. But, dude, guava jelly and an RTA, I feel is just better.
It's sweeter.
I think you get a little more of the lemon too.
That's what I was gonna say, Sean. I feel like I get more lemonade.
Yep. I get more air in like a typical rebuildable setup. That's where I get a heavy guava, and I like
And,
that.
like-
But yeah,
And this is
tight,
like a higher build than I
restricted.
normally vape too. It's like a 0.14, I think, or 0.13. Or so like even when I have, because I was been vaping it on my Odin at like 3.5 3 volts just because it felt right. And that's just where it's been at. I need to find my bottle of juice.
See, it's
that
funny
was
'cause
juice. I said juice, people.
We're talking about vape setups real quick. We talked a few weeks back about some old follow-up addies that we actually liked over on the green room.
Ooh.
And one of the ones that we talked about was the Goon LP. So I actually
you bust
broke
yours
mine
out?
out and started using it again.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, dude, like
It's
once
not bad.
you get that coil placement right, dude, this thing does vape really fucking good.
It's not bad, bro.
And that's to this day, it still stands up to like some of these modern vapes that we vape today.
Well, dude, here's the thing, bro.
awesome.
Things really haven't changed all that much since like the first round of like bangers. I feel like came out. Like there was an era. You remember the era, Chris? I'm sure because me and you were on the same page where we were buying practically every single thing that came out.
Look at the difference.
Yeah. It's shorter for sure.
Like, not by much, though. Like, that's actually what surprises me more is that it's not as big a difference as I thought it might be.
Yeah, that's true, because, like, that top cap's pretty thick.
Yeah, but Sean, like, how big is the layer cake compared to that?
I don't have my layer cake immediately accessible without...
Okay, I think that they're, like, the same height. I can't remember. One of them's, like, a smidgen
I think the layer
shorter.
cake might be
I don't remember if it's it or if it's the Goon
That's
LP.
probably
But it's
I think the LP is probably the smallest, to be honest, but the layer cake's pretty close, I feel.
Did actually... Oh, no, I don't have one right in front of me.
But, dude, honestly, I just feel like there hasn't been anything too super crazy. Like, once, like, Honeycomb Airflow kind of came out, and like they kind of figured out where the air kind of comes in and where the coils need to be. Like there hasn't really been anything that's like absolutely blown my mind. You know what I mean? There's things I go back to. I'm like, honestly, this vape's pretty much just as good as what I was vaping before. It's just a slightly different, maybe just a slightly different feel. And that's why I end up preferring the one over the other most of the time. But
like
at the end of the day,
if it ain't broke mentality.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, like the flavor's fucking almost the same or maybe slightly different in a good way. You know what I mean? Which is cool. But it's crazy, dude, because I look over here at my fucking desk and there's so many different things over here that I'm like, I remember when I used to vape that shit all the time. And it's like, and I haven't touched it in.
So the layer cake, it's going to be really close to that.
Oh, yeah.
That's it in...
Yeah, so they might be about the same. Yeah, because you got to think about it. That little ring's not that thick. So
No, it's like small.
It's crazy.
Dude, shout out to Ashton. Though he coded that. Man, like he coded the matching, not Dreamer, heavy hitter with that. Dude, that shit looks fucking tight. Like it's just like the perfect, just metallic-y green vibe. Oh,
it's amazing to see like what he's gone on to do now. Like if you guys aren't following our homie,
dude, forever gonna love that shit, bro.
Like,
forever gonna love that shit. Like so forever.
He took,
dude. I need to go on Instagram more for real.
Like he took everything and just made it all go big. Like the bike frames. Some of the bike frames he's done where he's literally done the stencil work on them and it's just insane. Like he's a maniac and he's literally proving that if it can go in an oven and withstand the bake, he can powder coat it. It's sick. Like unbelievable.
Yeah, if he can take a negative charge or whatever, you know what I mean? He's just like, all right.
Like
not only that, but he's just like proving that if you fucking put your head down to the grindstone and focus on, what your priorities are at the moment, that you can fucking make some shit happen. It may not be easy, but he's fucking still pushing, dude, and fucking shout outs to him, dude. because he's fucking putting in the work, bro. And I think it's gonna pay off, bro. I know it is, man, because he's fucking good at what he does, and he works his ass off. And I'm hoping the best for him, dude, because I've seen like the things that he's done recently around to the shop, you know, just as far as like the sign goes, and you know, little things like that. As far and not only that, but like I've been keeping up and seeing like his. I'm such an idiot because I forget to like posts because I've never been a person that's gone through and just like likes people's posts. Like I just look at it like, oh shit, that's sick. Or every now and then I'll throw a comment, but I need to start.
Dude, I always would just like, sometimes I would just scroll fast and just be like double hitting everything like as I went through and just like scroll, double tap, scroll, double tap, scroll, double tap.
Dude, I just scroll, dude.
That's the fucked up thing, right? Is that like,
damn, social media has got my fucking brain turning into mush, dude.
You're training the algorithm either way for you. Cause like, if you continually like the things that you like and just skip,
that's what I need. That's what I need to start doing though. Start liking things that I like, because I get random shit all the time, and it's like, what? Why is this coming up on my? I don't even know who this is. I'm not even interested in what this post is. So how's this popping up? But
that's the other fucked up thing, right? Is like, and we've talked about this before. The whole monetizing everything, like,
yeah.
Now, the model for something like Instagram is to push the reels to you and push all these different content creators, because now it's more content creators than just people creating stuff and showing off their lives. And now, as another pervasive element of it all, they're adding a embedded ad at the bottom of the reels in some of people's reels. So like I am heavy into the aquarium side of Instagram. If you follow me at Sean Typhon and want to see aquarium stuff on Instagram, there you go. You can see what I do with aquariums. So I'm heavy into all of that. And I'll literally be watching someone's aquarium video and there'll be an ad at the bottom of that reel, and it'll be like, shop here, get 10% off this aquarium product. And I'm like, I don't know if it's a deal that the content creator has been able to get.
On some of them they are, for sure.
You know what I mean? And if that is, that's great. But it's like, it is crazy how much everything has gotten to that point that it's like, we are being advertised to all the fucking time. It reminds me of the movie They Live when he puts the glasses on and everything's just like, consume, buy.
I've been trying to fucking cut back on my random scrolling on my phone, but I keep catching myself doing my random scrolling on YouTube through reels instead of, because I'd much rather watch a full video of something that I'm actually interested in than just scrolling through a bunch of nonsense, because at least at some point I might actually learn something, because a lot of times I'm watching like maybe like some sort of woodworking, or maybe even like something involving maybe a show I was watching or a movie I was watching, just like theories or something on that. Or I watch a lot of podcasts too, and I would listen to all kinds of different shit. And I've been trying to do more of that and less of the mindless nothingness that's on like your Instagram reels. And even though, dude, fucking puppy videos and shit like that, you can't beat a good puppy video, you know what I mean, bro? Like,
well, I mean, that's the thing, right? if you train your algorithm like that, and that's mostly what you're getting, it is.
Dude, I need to start doing that. I just need to start going through and just start liking puppy videos and shit. So that's like all that's in there. And
bro,
it's
like the amount of talking birds I follow now, and like cat and dog, just the thing that sucks about the cat and dog ones is you start getting so many of the ones that they just refilter all the same clips. And so for like a solid 2 weeks, you get into those little scroll holes. It's like, great, these are all animal clips and I'm having fun, but you're seeing like the same ones repeated throughout, because it's like, Pet Mania 1 shows it, and then Cat Lover 12 shows it, and then Dogs Forever shows this one, and then, Doggy Day over here. And you're like, okay.
How do you fucking refresh that? How do you reset? Like, hit the fucking reset.
It's about the content.
You like do something
cycle.
completely random.
Yeah. No.
But then you're stuck with watching random shit.
No, that you just have to pick something else and just like continuously try to watch things that are along that lines.
Dude,
like,
playing with algorithms. Oh man, I'm so glad I don't do that stuff.
Well, because that's the way that you can game the way that content creation works, right? So like this, Cat Lover 1, let's say, creates all this content and has all these cute cat videos. But because they're on Reels and I can, just make one small minor change to it, and now I can produce it as my own reel and my content, I can take a Cat Lover 1 video, call myself, Cat Lover Club, and now I can put that same piece of content out and make my one little change to it. Boom. Now it's my content, and that's happening. And at the same time, there's 100 other content creators who aren't really creators, but let's face it, there's 100 other profiles who are doing the same thing, and they're just farming this content and regurgitating it down the line. Because here's the secret that isn't a secret at all. Family-friendly content can make the most money. So, animal videos is cheap and easy, so people can create monetizable profiles like that and just farm them through AI, basically.
Dude, you know what else is crazy, dude? I've been getting fucking advertised mushroom,
like teas and shit, mushroom coffee,
all kinds of shit, gummies, chocolates, just
like magic mushrooms.
Well, I don't know if they are or not, but like I've been getting crazy advertisements for that, like as I'm scrolling through like my Instagram and shit lately. I'm just like, what's this?
All because we've had these conversations here on the show.
Probably.
It's listening.
I was just like, that's crazy that you're seeing fucking advertisements for mushrooms now.
Well, I mean, what did I
How times have changed, boys.
I saw a certain vape reviewer on YouTube, who, as obviously vape content became more and more sparse, wanted to continue to do review videos, and so continued on his channel by exploring things like CBD, Delta 8, and that sort of things. And he has recently dabbled in things like Amanita mascara, I think it's Amanita mascara, mushroom vapes, and edibles on his channel. And apparently they do produce a mild to heavy psychoactive effect depending on dosing.
Oh.
And what was really weird is that he had this vape. So you're vaping something that is supposed to be this derived of this Amanita mushroom, as well as I believe there was like a hemp derived cannabinoid.
Dude, here's the thing. I don't know if I want to be inhaling fungi.
Well, that's what my thinking is I'm going, what?
I would have to see a little bit of science on that before.
Yeah.
I'm sure that I probably smoked mushrooms at some point. Like, I mean, I'm definitely sure I've smoked mushrooms at some point for real, because people are just dumb. But I would want to see science if I was going to be like thinking about doing that often, or even actually now as an adult, like the first time. I would probably want to see some science.
Yeah, I want to know how did you go about your extraction process, and what exactly did you extract, and how did you isolate it, and what is it now homogenized into? And I also want to know the same about your hemp-derived cannabinoids that are in here, because I also don't trust that.
Because the thing is, bro, is smoking it and eating it are completely different. We've talked about this before when it comes down to just cannabis itself. You know what I mean? The feeling and the effects are different. You know what I mean? Because you are taking it, or you're absorbing it in a different way. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know,
it's-
man. I'm skeptical on
That's the thing. I'm
Dude,
very weirded out by
I
the
say
whole
that as I'm
concept.
sitting here vaping all these e-liquids and vaping carts and all this other stuff, but I don't
So
know.
in a similar vein of this,
I think it's
though,
just because I'm sketched out about mushrooms in general, and I haven't even done those by themselves as it is. So I think that is probably why I'm like even more like, yeah, I'm good. Because if I'm going to do them, I'll do them the whole natural. You know what I mean?
I agree. But there is a dude that friend of the podcast, Foot Clan Dan, turned me on to called Mass Spec the World on Instagram. And this dude works in a mass spectrometry lab. And so he's able to run these tests on
I think he sent me
wide
one
variety
where he did one
of
from
shit.
Mountain Dew
The
Baja Blast.
the Baja Blast,
Yeah.
And it's crazy because he's able to start with mass spectrometry. I don't remember which is right.
The mass spec, bro. Just talk the
with
mass spec.
He's able to break down all the individual components within the product and
That's what
tell
they
you
call it in the biz.
like what the flavors are and like exact quantities. It's crazy. And so like I caught one earlier today, a shampoo and conditioner company that claims to only have 7 ingredients has he mass specs their products. He discovers like several more that aren't being considered an ingredient. And it was wild.
Well, is it because their ingredient that they use contain that?
It was one of those, like, he's pretty sure a lot of it falls under their fragrances. As their one ingredient, fragrances, which is like, 15 or 20 different terpenes that they're using to do so.
I was just thinking about, because think about this, there's natural things that have multiple different terpenes that are just in them from the get. So if you're just using, like, say you're adding some apple scent to something, it may contain 3 or 4 different types of terpenes in that scent for that apple.
Quite possible too. That's the thing. I was like, this is supposed to be something like fancy au naturel, and the thing that he was finding is that there's actually some very unnatural, technically unsafe stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm sure about that.
That
Could be leaching from the plastic, bro, from the bottle. You know what I mean?
could be all sorts of
It
things.
might not be in the product. It could just be from the plastic in the bottle.
It could be a
bro.
byproduct of the chemical
Chris.
reaction of the product they're storing within the bottle and something in it. So it could be like, hey, I'm exposed to this. Now I'm going to turn into this.
I just loved Chris's reaction because he just fucking threw his head back and he's like, "Oh,
Dude, I hate it because like I'll drink out of plastic bottles all the time. They're fucking really convenient, man.
they are,"
like-
but doesn't mean they're good for you.
No, I know, and like that's why I think that's my reaction because I'm like I know it's fucking bad for me.
I know, dude. I do
Yeah,
too, and I still
but-
drink out of plastic. Dude, I just drink out of.
Dude, I'm gonna take a drink out of a plastic jug
I'm
right
drinking
now.
soda out of this plastic bottle now, and this definitely isn't, a good
Oh,
thing to
dude,
store in
and,
plastic.
look at what I'm fucking drinking, dude.
Yeah.
Like, this is good to fucking be putting in my body, but it's
allegedly,
delicious.
some countries are classifying Coca-Cola as a cleaner and not even a beverage now because it's so acidic.
It's probably why my teeth are so bad, bro. So,
Dude, I remember. I think that it was like
Yeah, terrible,
somebody's
but-
science experiment in like elementary school, and they had like a tooth because like I don't know. I remember how they got the tooth. Maybe it was their own tooth. Like, and we were
They
kids.
beat up a homeless guy and
Yeah, like however they got it, but they did like they soaked a tooth in Coke for like a science experiment,
gone in a
and
week.
dude, it just like demoed it. They also like soaked like coins, maybe pennies.
Oh, yeah. Clean
and like
right up.
yeah, like it's fucking crazy. Like the results were fucking crazy, bro.
You can
like crazy.
use Coke to remove oil stains in your driveway. My favorite one is if you don't like to scrub your toilet, pop a 12-ounce can of Coke, pour the entire thing into your toilet bowl, let it sit for an hour, come back and flush. It will literally eat away all the hard water stains and grime inside your toilet bowl. What the fuck?
Dude, have you came across these guys? There's a bunch of them now. But there's like two that pop into my head. They're like, one of them's kind of like this, like I think he's like either like Southern or he's from like, you know, like more of like a country state because he got a little bit of a twang in his voice. Which is why I kind of like him because it makes him funnier because of some of the shit he says too. Because, you know, they have funny sayings. And I just fucking love that shit. But there are these guys that like see like a weird TikTok or something that shows you how you've been doing something wrong your entire life.
Oh, like that 40-year guy.
Yeah. You've been telling me
for 40 years I could have been doing it like this.
And he goes,
I love that guy.
And he does like this weird like at the end of everything. You know what I mean? And then he fucking goes and does it. And then there's another guy that he goes, "No way."
Yeah.
And then he's like,
"Fuck me."
Yeah, dude. And then dude, I love it, dude. Because honestly, some of the things I've learned from those guys, I'm like, oh, that is kind of cool. Which is funny, though, because I'm not learning it from those guys. Well, I am learning it from those guys, but they're just learning it from another video of somebody else doing it, which I think's fucking crazy that that's how society works now.
I mean,
dude, I'm never amazed by how society works anymore.
It just boggles my brain, Chris, because like I don't even like it. Only boggles my brain when I'm like not like super stoned, but when like I'm just sitting here like just contemplating like on like old memories and like just like how shit was like when I was growing up. I'm sure everybody does this, you know what I mean? But like it's like I feel like I'm doing it a lot more now because I'm getting older and, you know, getting more mature in my my older age, I guess. I'm not like super old, obviously. I'm the youngest one in the room here, but that's besides the point. But it's just like I think back and I'm like, dude, when I was younger and like I'm thinking about people like my age when I was younger and like how they were like not my brother, but like for like I don't know, it's just so crazy, dude. Just like the complete flip almost of just how technology in particular, you know what I mean?
Well, it's interesting.
And how much it's just affected the day to day, you know what I mean? Because things do not operate how they used to, bro, at all. And it's so
interesting that you say that. I was just talking to my wife about this earlier because I had read an article where somebody was asking this question of, is it just them or does it feel like, you know, people of their parents' generation are just getting meaner as they get older? And naturally, there's a lot of, you know, back and forth discussion in this question of, you know, that's not my experience. And I would totally agree that that's definitely not going to be the experience for everybody. But then it got me thinking, you know, for the people who do have that experience, and let's exclude people who are just naturally already mean, right?
Naturally already mean. Yeah, I like that.
Let's exclude those people, you know, people who's, you know, of that age range who were genuinely pleasant people, you know, say 20 years ago and have progressively become more and more disgruntled or aggressive or angry or what have you. Some of the points that got brought up on that were kind of insightful and eye-opening for me to consider, which was like you're talking about, James, the fact that technology and the way that things operate today have changed so dramatically in those last 20 years that like the year-to-year pace of that growth could literally be so terrifying and frustrating for people, especially in, you know, our parents' generations and older.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe, you know, that is definitely a big part of it. I mean, naturally, the aches and pains that come of aging will play a part of that. But like, yeah, the genuine,
just even just the way you socialize, you know what I mean? It's completely different.
Yeah. Language norms are not what they were even 10 years ago.
Just even how people just interact in general are completely different. You know what I mean? It's a lot more, you know, there's not as much face to face. You know what I mean?
Well, that's 100% true. I think that's another thing that a lot of people have not recovered from, the whole isolation factor that we all went through pandemics, that like a lot of people still forgot how to human again. A lot of people reverted back to feral humans.
For real.
I know I did for a bit.
Well, you got to think about it too, bro. For like two years, practically, the world was pretty much shut down.
Yeah, I mean, there were literal people who for 2 years were just stuck in their houses. Absolutely. And like, that's the thing. Like, I know I went through a lot of trial and tribulation adjusting, going from that to retail work at the dispensary. We opened that dispensary at the tail end of the pandemic. And that was me going back into the workforce after leaving a Jeep dealership as a technician where we're already fucking feral animals.
Well, dude, just applying for jobs, bro. Like, you can't just go into somewhere and put in an application anymore. You have to do it online. And there's no really face-to-face fucking, you know, because, dude, that used to be part of the thing. Like, if you could make a good first impression when you go to, like, hand in or ask for an application, you can possibly get more chances of getting an interview, you know what I mean, depending on, you know, well, that was always just how I thought, you know what I mean?
That's how I was raised.
You know what I mean? Well, that's just how the world worked back then. But now it's like
kids,
everybody applies for jobs. You come in for like a little walkthrough interview sort of thing. Or now a lot of people are just hiring on the spot almost. So they do like a phone interview. And it's just like, and then you wonder why you can't get a good workforce or get people to stick around, because you're not looking for people that are trying to put the right foot forward. They're just looking to get in real quick. But not only that, but just that's a whole another thing, is the workforce is just completely different too. Because a lot of the, I'm not going to say a lot of the younger generation, just like people in general, not all people either, but there's a good majority of people that just don't have the work ethic of the people of our, you know, that brought us up. Because, you know, things are, I don't know, dude, it's weird.
I wonder about that though. And I think, what if it's really more of a people realize that their time and labor is worth more than a lot of these companies are willing to compensate them for. And so a lot of these people are just refusing to either A, work for those companies, or B, put in the effort that doesn't reflect the wage.
Well, I don't even think it's so much that either, because I'm just saying, just from the people that I work with where I'm at, like, we make a decent amount where we're at, and you can definitely work your way up pretty quickly if you're willing to put in the effort. But I've seen a constant just cycle of people that just aren't, you know, they're just there to do the bare minimum and be out.
I mean, there's going to always be drones. There's going to always be drones,
for sure.
You know?
But I'm saying, like, I just feel like it's, I don't know, dude. I think it's just mainly because I see it as I'm just sitting there doing my shit, because I observe while I work, because a lot of times I'm pretty stationary, and, you know, I have opportunities to just kind of look around, and I like to people watch. You know what I mean? It's one of my favorite pastimes. And so I'll just be like watching and like see dudes just literally like, they'll look around to see if anybody else is like watching, but for some reason they never see me looking. And then they'll just be like sitting there and just like fucking around or doing some other shit or chatting a lot. Oh, I think that's one thing too, is I just don't work when I talk, because then I get distracted. And that's, if you get distracted, that's where shit gets fucked up. So I just like to be, I feel like that's why I probably work best by myself. Just give me a task and send me on my way, bro. And I'll come back to you when I'm done with that and ask you for the next thing. You know what I mean? I work best like that. And I feel like that's why they have me where I am, because that's how I work best. And
you know, there's a place for everyone.
It's not that I'm a dick, but I feel like I can be at points, just because I just don't put up with bullshit. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. We're all here to fucking get the job done. So let's just get in here and everybody just fucking put in at least a little bit of effort. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, okay, rant. You guys ready? like today, for a matter of fact. We're getting ready to leave, and somebody said our foreman left early, so he's like, "Oh, make sure everybody's out by 3:30," sort of thing. So everybody was kind of just like in a rush to get out or whatever. So we're all cleaning up at the end of the day. Everybody's kind of helping out. I locked my machine up, went grabbed a broom, started helping these guys sweep up, all the sawdust and stuff because we blow it out from underneath machines, and we got a nice clean workspace when we come in the next day. And we get into a nice pile, and I go looking for a shovel, and then all of a sudden I look up and everybody's fucking walking away. Everybody just dipped and just left me to fucking scoop this big ass pile of shit up by myself. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Not even one of you guys could have stayed for like 2 seconds to at least, maybe like grab a broom and help me. You know what I mean? Because it's not like a pile like this. Like, you could probably make a pretty good fire with the amount of fucking sawdust that we had. It was a decent little pile, dude. Good like five or six big ass shovelfuls at least. But luckily one of the older guys that I can't communicate with because there's a little language barrier. I need to work on my Spanish. But he kind of saw he was walking away and then like looked at all of them and then like looked back at me, and I think I was like shaking my head as I was walking with the shovel to the pile, and he went and grabbed the broom and helped me out. So I was like, hey, thanks, man. He's like, hey man, these guys just fucking left me hanging, bro. They do that shit all the time. They just got to do whatever they got to do just to get out of there real quick. It's like, hey man, I want to get out of here too, but I ain't gonna leave this shit like this, man.
There's two ways to look at that. It's like, yeah, man,
they're looking at, oh, we'll get it in the morning.
Yeah, but then there's also they're just making you look good.
Well, no, honestly, that's what I said at the end of the day. Like, at the end of the day, they're gonna know who fucking ended up cleaning it up because they see me end up doing it, and I've told them about it multiple times. So it's like, hey, well, at least I'm putting in the effort, so it is what it is. But yeah, it's just something that's just like. I never.
How long until your foreman retires?
Oh, I don't know. He's around my age, I think. He's a good guy.
Well, he might get bored and move on. Never know. Foreman job may open up and they may look at you and be like, hey, this fucking guy, that's the fucking guy.
I don't know, dude. I don't know if I have the absolute best leadership skills most of the time.
No. Sometimes it's about knowing what to do. And then the leadership skills can be taught,
They have let me run one side of the shop a few times when he's been gone. But with that, I'm just like relaying a message. You know what I mean? He does a lot more than just that. So
but that's the fucked up thing about a lot of leadership, right? It's just delegation. It's just being like, all right.
But the problem is when you delegate and then people just don't do what you want. And at that point, it's like, they're not going to fucking really listen to me. You know what I mean? I could tell them as much as I want, but as soon as I turn my back and start doing what I need to do. But it doesn't happen all the time. I'm not saying that it does, but I just from past experience as well, It
has the potential to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, It's a weird thing because
at the end of the day, I still like where I work, bro. It's fucking I work for great people that take care of me. Fucking the job's not like mentally taxing, physically it can be a little bit much depending on what it is, but it's nothing that I can't handle. You know what I mean? It's nothing too crazy. And they're constantly looking at ways to upgrade things so we're not doing as much bending and lifting and those sorts of things to make things flow a lot easier and take a lot of load off us, which is awesome. So like that's another thing that makes me sick. Dude, they showed me this saw they're looking at getting, bro. Did I tell you guys about this?
No.
Oh, dude.
No.
It's gonna make my life a living hell until they figure out what they're gonna do about my machine, because I'm not going to be able to keep up once this thing comes in, even though they're going to be doing multiple things with the saw at the same time. This thing, dude, right now, I think we can cut I think we cut like 6,000 feet a week or something, or some shit like that. Quite a bit anyways. I think it's about that much. And then they're looking at these saws, and the first one starts off at like 8 or something like that. which is like a little, a little bit better. And then they got the next one that does 10,000 or 12,000 or something like that. And then they have a step up above that does like 16 or some shit. And dude, all it does is you fucking, I don't know how it's fed. I don't know if it's got somebody at the end of the machine feeding boards or not. But dude, this thing literally just has fucking conveyors that are just shooting boards down into the saw. And it literally, you type into the program whatever length you need. And it's got like fucking sensors and cameras and shit or whatever that fucking scan the board as it's coming through and literally cut it to the precise size that you need for each fucking whatever spec you need.
Dude,
also,
how much does a fucking thing like that cost? It sounds like it would be hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I'm sure, bro. The machine that I have is that much, bro.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. The fucking amount of money you'd have to even get an outfit like that going. That's crazy.
You got to see some of the contracts that we have and the amount of money that it costs for one of these reels, bro. And people are ordering truckfuls of these things. Dude, this thing is going to fucking speed things up and because that's going to be, and that's between like, when I said 6,000 feet, that's between like 3 or 4 guys doing like multiple things. And I think it might even be a little bit more, or I think that might even be a day or something like that. I'm not sure. Sounds like it could be more a day, just depending on what it is. But dude, that's going to be insane. And also, it ejects defects too. So like if there's a piece that comes through and it doesn't like the way it looks and it doesn't look like it's going to be good, it just fucking shoots it off into a bin.
Scrap wood.
And it just does it all by itself, dude. Well, not by itself. I think it only takes one person to run the machine. But like even then, dude, that's fucking crazy. So that's going to free up like 3 guys to go and do other things, or at least 2 guys to go and do other things.
Which you're going to need if it moves, if it can move.
Well, yeah, because then they're also looking into getting another CNC machine, another table CNC, to actually cut out flanges and stuff. So we don't have to, do multiple steps. We can literally do it all on just the one CNC or the 2 CNC machines at that point. Because what that does is literally it'll cut out the flange is literally like the big like wheel part of the reel, and it'll literally cut out the fucking bolt pattern, the whatever the arbor hole is, whatever, the different, whatever the spec is, and it literally cut it all out of one single piece of ply or whatever material you want. And you get 2 of those things fucking going, dude. And it's only have 2 people running instead of having to have 4 different people running 4 different machines to get one flange. Dude, that's going to fucking speed up production like fucking crazy as well. But then we're going to have to, and the thing about that too is that'll end up freeing up more bodies to actually get down to the assembly side and actually fucking put the damn things together. Because at the end of the day, we can produce as much as we want as far as, the flanges and that sort of thing. But if you don't have someone putting it all together, but we are getting a lot more orders that are what we call knockdowns, or when they're not built, we just fucking supply them with all the material. So we'll cut the flanges out, get them the bolts, get them like whatever, if they're using like the stave for the barrel, or if they're going to use like a cardboard barrel, we'll supply them with whatever they need for that. And then they build them on site.
It's a wild world, right? People don't often think about these pieces of the process and how these things happen.
Dude, it's like when I worked at the door shop too, and the amount of work that it takes to get fucking doors to a work site.
It's insane. I never knew before doing my job that.
Or at the dog food plant, bro.
Oh God.
Or when I used to work for my dad, and I really found my hatred for mayonnaise. I've worked some not some crazy jobs, just some weird off the wall stuff, dude. But yeah, when it comes down to like the supply chain, people only think about, okay, somebody makes it, somebody fucking delivers it to the store, and then we buy it. They don't think about what it takes to make the product, package the product, then to ship the product, and then to unload the product, then to stock the product. There's so many fucking different steps within those single things. And there's so many different people involved in each different step that there's so many different cogs in a wheel to get a business up and running and have it running smoothly and actually producing. It's crazy. And you don't really think about it. You just jump in as another cog in the wheel and just like, okay, this is how things work. But when you really step back and look at it, it's like, damn, this is kind of crazy. So we've got these guys here doing this in order to get this done, so that these guys can get this done, so that these guys can get this done, so that these guys can put it all together to get this one thing that the customer wants.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then at that point, okay, now we need to get it on a pallet or fucking figure out how we're going to strap it or fucking ship it. And we got to get it on the truck. And hopefully we load the right thing on the right truck and it goes to the right place and we ship in the right amount, or, you know, yada, yada, yada. And then we got to do it all over again the next day with who knows what. It could be a completely different fucking
with
thing.
a whole other customer, the whole other order with a whole bunch of other different problems.
Yep.
Yep.
And then you got to worry about the machines that you're running to fucking get this operation going. If one of those machines goes down and it's a crucial part of your fucking operation, sometimes that fucking halts production on things, and you got to fucking 12 audibles and be like, hit up a customer, be like, hey, so I know we said we were going to get this to you here, but unfortunately this and this happened, but we'll get it to you ASAP. And then you call up another customer and be like, hey, so we're going to be able to get this to you a little bit quicker if you can come pick it up, because you actually have the material to do that, but we may not have the material to do this, or you may have the machines to get this done, but you may not have the machines to get that done. Like today, I was actually supposed to stay for some overtime, and the machine that collects all the sawdust got this huge vacuum system from like each, you know, different machine that collects the sawdust and then puts it into this hopper that goes into this machine that's called the briquetter. And what it does is it compacts all the sawdust in these like little round pucks, or bricks, I guess you could say. I don't call them bricks because they don't look like bricks, but I guess it kind of is. And then it just shoots them out the other end into a dumpster, and then they fucking haul it off. Well, apparently,
yeah. Do those go into like making pellets, like for people to like burn in those?
Oh,
stoves?
dude, I've taken some home and fucking burned them.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, dude,
keep on going with your story.
They're great fire starters. Or if you just want to fucking take them home and just fucking pop a couple in like your little fire pit or whatever. Anyways, so I think it like something happened. I don't know exactly what happened, but I was told that it exploded. I don't know what that means. I didn't hear nothing, so I didn't hear an explosion, but that may mean like the door might have popped off or something got jammed and there's too much pressure and something popped. I'm not sure. But if so, that sucks, because that means I can't do anything tomorrow if it's not fixed. Because if I don't have the vacuum system, I can't run my machine, because I run one board through it and it's completely filled with sawdust. And if I do that too many times, things are going to start a fire, bro. I almost started a fire once in that thing.
Dude, those things are really dangerous, though. Actually, like, just quickly, I'll say this, but my dad was a firefighter for like over 30 years. And so he was already kind of elevated. He was, I can't remember what he was at the time. I think he might have been even like a platoon chief. So he was like pretty high up. And so he wouldn't really be going into fires anymore, but he was like covering a shift for somebody. And he went into this place, and it was like this big industrial building. And they had like these hoppers. They weren't for, I don't think that they were for sawdust, but I think they were like dust, but maybe they were sawdust. I'm not sure. And anyways, so they were having like suspicions that something was going on. So the fire department got there. My dad was like inside, and the fucking place exploded. Like the hopper exploded. And anyways, my dad ended up like being okay. He was like burnt up real bad and whatever else, but he like made like the cover of a magazine. And it was like basically like the firefighter North America like magazine or whatever it was called. I can't remember. Maybe it was like the International Association of Firefighters magazine.
Yeah, I didn't know you were a fireman.
Dude, and so there's like this like guy that was like away in like full uniform, like kind of running away from like this massive explosion and fire. And then you saw like inside there was like a dude like on his hands and knees, but it was like a dark shadow. Oh, no. In the fucking, it just engulfed in flames. And dude, my dad was the dude that was like engulfed by flames. And so he had his like helmet off and his gloves off because he was on the radio trying to get people out of there because he didn't like what was happening. And like in that moment, I guess, or like before he could get everything back together, the explosion happened, and he had to like try to escape from this place without a helmet on and without gloves. So like the whole top of his head and like most of his like upper, like his eyebrows and like up was like burned pretty good. And his hands were just like burnt crazy bad because like the cuffs of the firefighter jacket were like basically like right to your hand, and then you'd have those big gloves. Yeah, man. So like those hoppers and stuff, that I think that's not even that uncommon. There'll be like fires
system in ours. So
yeah,
if it detects something before it gets to the hopper, the sprinkler system will go off.
That's good technology to have.
I did mine because I had somehow my I forgot to make the proper adjustment on my machine, and the blade hit something, and it fucking like created a big ass spark. And when it did, it fucking got sucked up into the fucking thing. And I guess as soon as it got sucked up into the system, it noticed it, and fucking all of a sudden the alarm started going off and shit. And I was like, fuck.
Oh man. Yeah, dude. Dust.
It was it wasn't an adjustment. I know what happened. It was a board. Now I remember. It was a board that actually came up and somehow popped up, and then another one got pushed up against it. So the guard that's supposed to keep the board down as it goes underneath one of the cutting heads got pushed up into the blade and created a spark. That's what happened.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Like, you don't want to fuck around with airborne dust. Airborne particles like that are highly ignitable. I know things like sugar. That shit's scary.
Sugar when it burns?
Like, if you take like powder sugar and throw that powder up, you can ignite that and it becomes a fucking fireball.
That's crazy.
There's videos of it on YouTube where people will make like little cannons, like little mortar shells, fill it with like powdered sugar and shit, and then light it off, and it's like gigantic fucking fireballs that they shoot out. It's terrifying. So yeah, don't fuck around with that shit, people. It's not worth it. It looks cool. Leave it to the professionals.
Warning: we do not condone any actions.
I mean, getting burnt sucks when you just burn your hand on like the stove.
Sure, dude. I am. You guys want to hear a crazy story? You guys want to hear a crazy story about a burn? So I got like a second degree or like a pretty bad. I'm not sure what kind of burn. Bad enough to blister up pretty fucking bad from a hot glue gun when I was like, I know, teenager, like maybe like 12, 13, dude. And dude, it got burned pretty bad. Which finger was it? I think it was this one. Yeah, I think it may have been this one, but dude, it got so fucking bad, dude, that it like blistered up. Like I said, so like I was trying to make sure I took care of it and got it all clean, but apparently it got infected or something, and I got blood poisoning. And I almost died, bro.
The fuck?
Well, that's what they told me. Because if I would have came in any later, it could have possibly have gone to my heart, and then it would have been all bad. But that's also after that happened. Shortly after that, I think. I know, maybe it was around that same time. I don't know, but anyways, that's a different story. But yeah, dude, crazy. So make sure if you get burns and stuff, get them checked out and get them properly taken care of, and avoid any infections, because that shit's dangerous.
100%. And with those lovely words of wisdom, it is that time for us to begin to wrap it on up. So we appreciate all of you listeners out there who are checking us out, all of you guys in the Patreon who get the early advanced videos of the new episodes, and all of y'all watching those old replays over there on YouTube. We love each and every one of y'all, Shedhead Nation. We couldn't do it without y'all. I'm going to hand it on over to Uncle Chris so he can sign on out.
Well, so thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. As always, I'll just chill out. Shedtimepodcast.com. Go check it out. A bunch of interesting stuff is going to happen, going to continue to happen. So you just have to keep on checking back there. Man, I will also say that today I was listening to just like a random playlist, and it put me in a good mood because that's what music can do for me. And maybe it can do that for you guys too. I have no idea. But everybody have a good week. Stay safe. Live your best life. James, take it away.
As always, shout outs to all you Shedheads for all your continuous support. Like Sean said, hopefully by this podcast, the merch site's up and you guys can go check that out. Go cop some merch, grab yourself a hat, t-shirt, that'd be sick. Of course, leave those 5-star reviews on all those podcasting platforms if you can, because that would be sick as well. Help us out in the old algorithm like we were talking about. Helps us pop up possibly in other people's feeds and such as. Check out the Green Room over on my YouTube channel on Friday if you want to get a little double dose of me and the boys. Just kind of doing a similar thing, but a little bit more vape oriented, and it's a live show to where you guys can interact with us live on the YouTube chats. So go check us out there. Other than that, we'll be here in the shed doing what we always do. So I'm going to end it as I always do, sending out all those positive vibes, crisp high fives. And as always, don't forget to tell someone you love them, and a little bag or a dab will do you.
That's a fact, Jack. So yeah, one more time, ShedTimePodcast.com is your one-stop shop for everything Shed Time. You can find links to everything. You can find the merch store and so much more. So go check it on out. And I'll bring it to a close and tell you, don't want the best to get you down. Be cool, don't be a dick, and whatever it is that you do, be sure and have some fun, because this is the Shed Time Podcast, and it's time to roll on up and roll on out.
Dynavap, Dynavap, Dynavap. Looking to cut the cord on your dry herb vape? Dynavap. Trying to get the best taste from your herb? Dynavap. Ready to take your sesh to the next level? Then meet Dynavap, the best way to vape your flower or concentrate. Concentrates? That's right. Your flower or hash can be vaped using Dynavap. Check out Dynavap.com to learn more. That's Dynavap.com. Lose the ash? Dynavap.
What's going on, Shedheads? It's your boy, Frames Janklin. Are you looking to step up your match game or have a raw copper, brass, or stainless mod or RDA that you're absolutely tired of polishing? Then you need to go and hit up my man Ashton of Palmer's Powders. He does some absolutely amazing powder coating work. He offers many different colors and finishes at an absolutely killer price. This man is taking powder coating to a whole new level, and he can make your setup an absolute masterpiece. You can go follow him over on Instagram at Palmer's Powders, and you can go check out pricing on his website, palmerspowders.com. That's palmerspowders.com. And as always, let's just vape on, Shedheads.
I want you to think of your favorite rebuildable right now. Yeah, okay, so you have a layer cake in your hand, and now you're about... Oh, sorry, yeah, that's not everyone's favorite. That's just mine. So think of your favorite rebuildable atomizer. Think about how good of a vape it produces for you. Now, take that and amplify it. And the way that you amplify that is you put in some Breezestone coils. Breezestone coils are handcrafted in Adelaide, Australia. They're made from some of the finest quality wire that you can get. I believe it's wire Buddha. You take those coils, you take them out of that phenomenal packaging that clearly shows how much care that Adam puts on the quality of his coils and the insurance that you get them in good shape. You put them in that favorite RDA, and guess what? You have coils that now sing better than Celine Dion. Go check out Breezestone coils. You can find them on localvape.com and also steelvalleyvapors.com. Solid.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.